What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And this one I'm going to be showing you how to make the interior for your Refresh Series Best Buy. This interior is very dark, at least in the main area. I think I have night vision on. Yeah, I do. I'll take it off in a second. I just kind of want to show you what the actual detailing looks like before I worry about that. But yeah, I will explain how to make it brighter than I have it, because I didn't really do much and I didn't really think about it. But here it is in all of its, I don't know, Best Buy-ness or something. Yeah, you got some side rooms. You got a bunch of other stuff that I need to somehow figure out how to keep talking as I show. You got some bathrooms. You got, the back area, and that's it pretty much. It's three rooms. A little power room, and then you also have the other room, which is the dock. Anyway, that's all. So with that being said, enjoy the tutorial, and I will catch you on the flip side. Although, I do want to show you... Here's what it looks like. As you can see, it's definitely dark in some spots. Because of how high the lights are, they just don't reach the floor. But anyway, that's all. So with that being said, enjoy the tutorial, and I will now catch you on the flip side. Alrighty, so the space for me if this is, wait, I don't need any space. All I need is your Best Buy from whenever. This is going to be a long and very difficult tutorial, just for the record, so have fun. What the panes do the thing? Wait, do they? Maybe I'm just dumb. Anyway, you want to start by getting out the following. Clay. Cyan terracotta. Polished blackstone. Polished diorite. Sea lanterns, black stained glass panes, polished deep slate walls, blue concrete, and yellow concrete. That'll get the entire entrance done, which is not really saying much. If you head inside, I would recommend having night vision on just so it looks a little bit better and more seeable. You want to start by, assuming your floor is already blue concrete pattern, you got kind of what I have, you want to start by just wrapping the black glass here and polished black stone to just a square. Like so. You're going to, off of either side of this bottom polished black stone, place a clay. The one on the right, if you are looking at it, you will extend to the right by 7, and then you would extend forward 1, and you should just be able to connect right. It might already have been brought that far. If it was brought further in than that, then you'll just have to remove a couple blocks. But yeah, and I just want to make sure that this row here that you can see on the inside is 7. The clay on the left, however, you're bringing to the left by 10. You kind of want to do the same thing. I guess you can do the same thing where you extend that clay forward 1 and then just connect it left. Although the other thing you're actually going to do is really from both these sides where it sticks out, you'll just go forward with 3 black stained glass panes and then 2 more clay. Yeah. Just like this. Then extend the frontmost clay on either side in by 1, which should be kind of towards the center of the entrance. Then you'll go in with, that is the wrong block, 4 black stained glass panes. Clay. 1 pane. Gap of 2, and then another pane. And then in from either of those panes, you'll place a clay, and then another pane, which should leave you with a 2 block gap in the center. The door isn't centered, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Just because of the way that the exterior is kind of structured, it's not. But each of these singular panes, you can extend towards the front doors by just 1. So they kind of act as doors themselves that are currently open. Technically speaking, you want to copy that row 3 more times. Some exceptions. You're placing cyan terracotta instead of clay. That's the main one. And that's the only one I'll mention immediately, actually. The other one I'll get to, though, in a second once I get around to it. So, yeah, hopefully everyone is having a good day or not. Did I say that? I don't think I did already. I am for the most part. I'm confused. That's what I am. So, for these, where you have the panes where they stick, like, in another row, you want to connect the, or you don't want to bring the top one back like this, like I did here. You don't want to do that. You instead want to connect this top row across, kind of over the gap, which will give you this kind of, well, not kind of, it will give you this. Yeah, there's a very clear difference between kind of this and exactly this. And one is that it should look the same, and the other one is that it might look the same, but it probably won't. That's at least what I perceive kind of as. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about it too hard. The window on the side that I'm currently on stays here. You'll see why I mentioned that in a minute. Not yet, though. So, here's a fun game. Not really a game, but over top each glass pane, you're placing a polished deep slate wall. And as you do this, you can simultaneously bring each cyan terracotta up by 2 and extend them over top those walls to, well, connect over them. Or to just be brought up. That also is an option. Because technically not all of them are connecting across something. They're just going on top of other cyans. But I guess that would have been implied anyway, so... I don't know. I just work here. What is the next refresh? You know, I really wish I knew. Not that that's important yet. I got another, like, hour and a half at minimum to go through here. So I'm excited, not really. The ceiling in this main area is just a block above the walls we made, and it's polished diorite if you were to start with 2 rows off each side. And you probably know where this is going. Ignoring the, like, entrance where the glass kind of sticks over, you'll have to fill that with diorite anyway. I guess that would technically be lights with the pattern, but, man. But anyway, if you have the 2 rows on each side, you can then place sea lantern on either end. And then extend them towards each other with 2 polished diorite and sea lanterns repeated infinitely until the end of time. Not really, but it should give you this. For the window on the left, if you're looking towards this, you're going to want to block it off. So, the top 2 rows, which are the walls and the top row of panes, you'll just cover off with yellow. The bottom, what should be 3 by 3, will be a yellow concrete in the center with blue concrete around it. Almost like a Target, but this is Best Buy, not Target. So, you can see the flawed logic there, I guess. What you can do from this point is ignore that. So, I don't even know how I want to do this. If you're still looking at the entrance, you want to take the leftmost row of the wall, which is this one, and place a yellow concrete in front of the base that extends to the left by 1. I'm going to extend it all the way up to the ceiling with blue concrete until it connects. And then I will bring the top, whatever it should be, I think it's 4 blue concrete, kind of around the entrance on the, well, the side that you're currently looking at, and also down the kind of right side here. And just fill in these 4 rows. And that should... I don't know, it should do something. And if you have any cyan terracotta left to bring up on this side, make sure you do bring them up. You don't want any gaps, but yeah. Eventually we'll wrap the top with yellow, but that'll be for the full room, so we're going to wait on that. Speaking of, though, not that this is speaking of, if you take this leftmost yellow and you're looking at it, you'll extend towards you diagonally left with a clay. Extend that left by 9. And I'll just leave a gap of 1. Place 3 clay, gap of 1, and then is it just 1? No, it's not. I'm going to say 9 clay, including the one that we would have already placed for the 1. So this would be 1 because it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was horribly explained, but whatever. It should give you this. I think both sides are equal, right? No, because 1 is 10 and 1 is 9. You could go a 10th, I guess, theoretically. Yeah, you can go a 10th on the end here. I changed my mind, so now it will be symmetrical. You are splitting the middle out of the 3 clays down the center with not clay, but yellow concrete, which is going to be right here. And you're also going to sort of do the same on the sides. Now, when I say sort of, I mean... You're going to be in line with the, like, furthest out clay. The 10th one on both sides, and you'll connect it back with yellow. These will be the rooms that get switched to smooth stone. I think they're the only ones, but Let me confirm, because I don't remember if the area left of this is or not, or any of the back rooms. Nope, these are concrete powders. So yeah, if you would like to get rid of, I don't know, your polished deep set walls and get out smooth stone and replace the floor here, including in the doorways with smooth stone, then that would be a not bad idea. I'm slash filling this, and I hope you understand why. A nice 5 minutes saved or something like that. Probably not 5, probably like 2. 2 minutes saved is 2 minutes less that I have to record those, so I see that as a win. Anyway, you can extend these up actually kind of the same way that we have been worrying about it. Only thing I'll tell you is that the yellow should only be brought up with 3 rows of blue concrete here, because that's all you'll need. But the clay does need to get brought all the way up with cyan terracotta until it touches the roof. And make sure you leave the doorways properly. If that makes sense. I think that makes sense. You're bringing it all the way up until it touches the white wool ceiling. And then you're leaving the doorways as 1x2s to where they're doors, and you can put doors in the doorways, but there's nothing else other than that. Sure, we'll go with that. Doesn't really make a ton of sense, but it makes enough, so it's all that matters to me. You should have this. If you want, you can get rid of your panes and I guess your smooth stone and get out birch doors and just smack one in either doorway. And then, do I want to clear inventory fully? No. Get rid of birch door and your blue and yellow concrete, I guess. And get out polished black stone bricks, gray concrete, stripped acacia wood, and spruce door. Starting from the leftmost clay of the kind of bathrooms here, it should be that, actually no, just kidding. It's going to be the second one to the left of the second door. So this one right here that I'm currently highlighting. You want to extend it forward with 9 polished black stone bricks, and then a stripped acacia wood facing up. Extend that stripped acacia wood to the left by 17 with polished black stone bricks. And then 1 with stripped acacia wood facing up. Not sure why this is here, but I'm bringing this back with a polished black stone brick. It's just here, I guess. And then I'll go left with 2 clay, a spruce door that I want the handle facing right, but it doesn't matter, and then 4 more clay. Cool. I will extend the clay to the right of the door back by 9. Yes. And then that one I can extend in really 2 directions. It's going to be left with a clay, then a spruce door, and then 4 more clay. And also to the right with 1 clay, a spruce door that I have on the back half like that, but it might not be a bad idea to put it on the front instead. And then right of that you would need, if you need a number, it's 8 clay. And then that end clay you would extend back to cover up the yellow and blue wall there. Cool. Only the frontmost row of clay needs to be brought up by more than 3 rows of cyan terracotta. So this area right here you're just bringing all the way up, but the rest of the clay you're bringing up with 3 cyan terracotta each. And yeah. And then from this point, what are we going to even do from this point? I don't know. We might finish off this little, like, side area. So get all the kind of rooms here done, and then we'll tackle the big scary one. Because, honestly, yeah. But I might do ceiling. I'll do ceiling lights here once we fill up all the walls, which is going to include this area. So, the stripped acacia wood, you're extending all the way up to the ceiling with stripped acacia wood. Specifically, the right wall of polished black stone bricks you're bringing up to the ceiling with gray concrete. Like so. You would, the little block back on the left that is just getting entirely ignored. I guess it's just there for the fun of it. But the, like, front section here, you would leave the bottom three, or I guess 3 rows above the polished black stone brick open, and then it should be the top 6 rows of stripped acacia wood you're connecting together with gray concrete. And yeah. Cool. And that'll give you pretty much all of the, like, layout of the main area at least done. We'll have a door somewhere back there, but we're actually going to mark that door with the furniture, so it's going to be a bit weird, and then we're going to kind of split it in half with how we're doing, I guess, cosmetics or whatever you want to call them. So, for the patterns of the lights, each of them are the same where it's a sea lantern and with 2 polished diorite on each side. As to find the first sea lantern in each area, the room just behind the gray concrete opening, this one right here, you're going to be in line with this bottom row of gray, and you'll have 1 row of polished diorite, off of the front and either the right or left. And then sea lantern in the corner. And again, if you want to just mark the 2 polished diorite, sea lantern, kind of something like this. You can fill in the center, just so you have it down. But I want to give you all of them first, and then we'll deal with it from there. The room to the left is same height, just like 1 row above the cyan here. 2 rows of polished diorite off of the front, and 1 off of either the right or left, and then sea lantern in the front corner from there. The room behind that one is like 1 polished diorite off the front or back, or 1 full row, I guess. And then the sea lanterns are directly against the sides. And then for the bathrooms, which are going to be the 2 rooms, both to the right of the one that we just did. Hold on, I gotta get there. Is the same as, I think, that room, except kind of inverted. 1 row of polished diorite off of the front. 2 off the left or right, and then sea lantern starts in the front corner. Just like that. And yeah, you want to fill in all of your lights this way. So, what the exact plan here is going to be is get the lights here done, get the lights in the main area done, furnish these areas, furnish main area, and then deal with the back area. I know, a little weird, but I'm trying to figure out how to split it up nicely, so, you know, it's not all just consecutively one type of thing, and, you know, it's somewhat manageable for me to record as well in one sitting. Because these long tutorials, like, generally with Act 3 or PPT 1, I wouldn't. Since I've been doing the 40-minute parts for a lot of the big ones now, though, I have been able to just record 1 part per, you know, or 2 parts at a time, whatever. But just, like, recording an hour-and-a-half to 2-hour tutorial without taking any major break is definitely exhausting. But, yeah. That's why I'm like, It's one of the reasons I was scared to do this, because I was thinking I was going to split it in 2, but at this point I'm like, if it's a 3-hour tutorial, it's a 3-hour tutorial, you know what I mean? If it kills me, it kills me. Yeah, that was one that I did in separate parts, both the 3-hour ones, actually. Anyway, you should end up with this. Now, for the lights in the main area, are these fun? No, but are they easy? Also, maybe yes, no, I'm not sure. Clear your inventory, and you need 3 materials. You need pale oak fence gates, diorite walls, and the infamous ochre frog lights. So I'm going to take the... Well, actually, first off, you need yellow concrete as well. Sorry, I forgot about that. And you want to, around this full main area, just like the top row, line it in yellow concrete, just around the cyan here. This serves no purpose other than just make the walls like a little less bland and boring. Because they definitely did before adding the holy yellow stripe. But yeah, you'll go around the top of everything that you've done, the gray and stuff included, the front entrance here included, you get the point. Very strange, like, shaped area. There are a lot of just, like, random changes in the wall. But I mean, at least on the front. Obviously the sides and back are kind of normal, but like, look at how weird this side is. Anyway, should give you this. Now we can take the back right-hand corner, and if you leave a gap of 3 counting across the back, you'll take the 4th white wool and extend forward with 4 pale oak fence gates kind of facing sideways like that. Diorite wall in front, 3 pale oak fence gates to the right, and I guess 4 to the left. So what you're doing here is you're just having diorite walls every 4 pale oak fence gates, like kind of like this, just in rows. Now, more so in a grid shape than anything else. The one way you can confirm that you are correct is the various skylights in the ceiling will be directly centered in these 4x4 squares that the walls will end up making. I can bring like this one forward to show you more so what I mean. So like if I go across here and then do this and then this, boom. The lights are every other, except for I think the middle, right? Isn't there 2 rows back to back or something goofy? Or maybe I'm thinking of the skylights. Yeah, no, I'm thinking of the skylights, never mind. So as to figure out where this would start, if you were to take the like back right half square, it would be just forward diagonally left a square. It would be right here. You would have a 2x2 of ochre frog lights in the direct center. So as you can see, if I lay this out, it looks like that. And then if I lay out this one, there's not one there, but if I lay out one more over, there are frog lights here. And then if I extend forward and do another one, there is no light. But then the next one forward, there would be. That's kind of the deal. Now, you'll notice this makes it very dark still. This is something I would recommend. Why is it light level 12 that I have? Whatever. This is something I would recommend waiting on. But if you get out light block 15, again, I don't know why I have 12. You can do /give at s light _ block _ 15, and it'll give you this. And you can just take each row of the frog lights, or even just like opposite corners, and bring them all the way down to the ground with these light level 15 light blocks. And as you can see, if I take off my night vision, and if I add even this one too, it'll make it a much brighter, because that's grammar. It's very grammatically correct. But yeah, you can kind of see here, like, you still get a little bit of a seam, but honestly, if you wanted to just cover your floor in light blocks, that's an option. If you're in survival or whatever, there are going to be ways to hide it, especially on Bedrock, because I know that you can do, what's it called? Like, you can use stairs and stuff to put lights under it. I would recommend doing that for the shelves, but yeah. Do this across your whole ceiling. I'm gonna just structure block it from the original, because I'm gonna be real, I can't be bothered to do all this. But yeah, make sure you get that done, and I'll catch you once mine is quote-unquote totally really finished by me and not structure block from a different build. Now, after all these totally real lights have been added that I absolutely did, you can kind of see what it looks like again, as you can see from that back right one is just every other. Going all the way down, and it should hopefully end the same on the other side. I don't know about the front. Technically, I guess, yeah. Well, the front is weird because some spots are different. Like you see here, you should technically have a light like this, but I don't want half a light, so I didn't add it. But you can if you want. Anyway, that's that room done. Cool. Let's do these areas, and then we'll deal with bathrooms, and then we'll deal with everything else. So, starting from this area, you want to get out the following. Deep set tile stairs, lecterns, paintings, pale oak pressure plate, polished blackstone bricks, again apparently, oh, that's not the right block, they look the same, dark oak shelves, and stripped dark oak wood. That'll finish one room entirely, which is going to be this one right here. Where you have what will eventually be a sign, you want to, behind this polished blackstone brick row, place a full row of upside down deep set tile stairs facing back. Leaving, if you're looking towards now the outside, you want to leave a 3-block gap from the left, and on the 4th one, you'll place a lectern facing back. You'll then repeatedly leave 3-block gaps until you're one away from the stripped acacia on this side. Crouch and place a painting off of each of the backs of the lecterns. Of course, these two are the same. They technically can be, it doesn't really matter. And then you'll place a pale oak pressure plate off the stairs in front of it. There are no seats, they're forced to stand, I guess. I didn't even think about seats, but now that I did, they don't get them. You want to leave 2 rows of polished blocks, or 2 blocks open on each side from that side, and place 3 rows of polished blackstone bricks kind of coming towards you like this, which will leave 3 off the front and 2 off each other side. Because against this back wall, you'll have another row of polished blackstone bricks, starting from the corner and ending 1 short of the door. Not really the focus, though. This focuses the 3 rows here. You want to, off of the sides of the polished blackstone brick, the short sides, place 2 dark oak shelves coming up from each of the 3 blocks. Again, on either side, which will look like this. I will place stripped dark oak wood connecting the top center ones together with dark oak shelves off the front and back of that. This could house whatever. I don't really know. I didn't think about it too hard. I just needed something to fill the void, and that happened to be it. Before we clear our inventory, I feel like the back area has a fairly similar thing going on. Yeah, you just need dark oak trapdoors in addition to what you already have. And if you head through this door at the back, from the doors on the front wall, you want to take the front right-hand corner, which would be right here. You can see there are the 2 doors on this wall. And you want to place, going left, 6 polished blackstone bricks, which should be back towards the door. And again, you'll leave that 1 block gap. You'll extend back on the side with 4, and then place 2 stripped dark oak wood extending up that are pointed up. Each of those you'll extend left with 4 dark oak shelves, and then more stripped dark oak wood facing up until you eventually reach the other side. The pattern should perfectly line up with the size of the room, which is pretty cool. And I'll place dark oak trapdoors on top of all of the shelves like that. That is so wrong. Like this, just on top of the shelves and the blocks. Cool. I will, from the left side, do a fairly similar thing that was on the other side. I'll extend forward with 5 polished blackstone bricks, and then just right by 2, making sure you do not block the door. You can clear your inventory now and get out the following. Stripped oak wood, smooth quartz, blocks, pale oak door, block of coal, stone button, item frame, black stained glass pane, hopper, where? I can't find it, help, and tripwire hook, there it is. If you're in this room and you're looking at the doors, you're going to head to the door on the right, which would lead you to an open room that we have yet to fulfill, or fill in, something like that. From this perspective, you're taking the right wall, and from the side closest to you going across, kind of this way, I guess you'll be going back, you'll place a stripped oak wood facing sideways, then 2 smooth quartz on top of each other. From the bottom one, you'll go back with an additional 4 stripped oak wood facing sideways, then a hopper coming off the wall, and then another stripped oak wood behind that. Tripwire hook above the hopper, pale oak door at the front of the smooth quartz. On this kind of row of 4 stripped oak, you'll place block of coal on the center 2 with a stone button off of the left one and an item frame with a black stained glass pane off the right one, which will give you a microwave. This is like an employee break room, by the way, just as a side note. Clear your inventory again and get out spruce shelves, spruce trap doors, and polished Jeep set stairs. In addition, I'm actually going to tell you to get out dark oak signs, glowing sacks, and white dye. Opposite wall of this, in the center 2 blocks, I'll place spruce shelves off the wall. Coming off the sides of those, I'll place spruce shelves kind of pointed outwards, and then I'll have trap doors on top of each one, which gives you a nice desk. You can pick either one of the center 2 shelves to place a polished Jeep set stair facing into, like so. That's those back areas done. Congrats. Now for the bathrooms. You can leave through this door here. And if you find the birch doors, to the right of the top half of each, you want a dark oak sign. This is specific, though. The left one will be the women's bathroom, and the right one will be the men's bathroom. And you'll do your glowing sack and white dye, place it on the sign, or whatever. Like so. Clear your inventory and get out the following. Stone slabs, stone blocks, pale oak doors, smooth quartz stairs, pale oak shelves, skeleton skulls, smooth quartz blocks, And there was something specific. Wasn't there? Oh yeah, granite walls, that's what it was. We'll leave the final slot open. Start in the right bathroom and head to the right wall. In the kind of back corner, you want to replace this yellow concrete with a smooth quartz block. Leaving gaps of 1 moving forward, you'll repeat that twice. Replace the blue above each of those with opposite on smooth quartz stairs facing left. And you will place pale oak shelves off of the front of the smooth quartz blocks. Between each of those shelves, you'll place granite walls that are extended up by 1, and those will give you some kind of divided urinals. Cool. In each bathroom, you'll take the third yellow forward from, I'm going to say the left side, and go over with an opposite on stone slab. Pale oak door. 3 opposite on slabs. Pale oak door. And then in the men's, you would go 2 more over and stop, but in the women's, you would repeat the pattern. So 1, door, 3, door, 3 again, door, and you should end with 1 slab. Either the end of the row of 2 or the center of the row of 3, you'll just bring back by 2 to connect into the wall. These stalls are a little smaller than normal, but it'll work. Extend each opposite on slab up with a stone block and then a stone slab. Leave the doors as is, they hang a little bit lower intentionally. It's kind of like the inverse of what they actually do in the stalls, I guess. Because normally they'd be floating, well I guess no, because the whole thing floats off the ground. It's not just the door. I feel like it'd make more sense if it was only the door, actually. I don't know. Anyway, it should give you this. In each of the stalls, you want to, in the back center, place an opposite on smooth quartz stair with a pale oak shelf on top. Different toilet design, no way. On the, like, right side, if you were looking at the stall, or I guess peeking like I am, you want to place a skeleton skull just kind of at eye level. This is the toilet paper roll. Ignore the fact that it's a skull. Just don't think about it. Just use it. It's my brilliant advice. Anyway, yeah, it should give you something like this. Cool. You can clear your inventory and get out composters, oak trapdoors, hoppers, tripwire hooks, pale oak buttons, and white banner. And in the, like, front corner directly next to the door in either bathroom, you'll have a composter with an oak trapdoor on top. From the opposite side of it, you'll go every other block, leaving the first one from the door open, and place 3 hoppers kind of pointed into the wall. 1, 2, 3. Tripwire hooks above each one with pale oak buttons between those tripwire hooks. Those are soap dispensers. I don't know if that's new for this one. I don't even think the next one has it, actually. I don't remember. But then outside of that, you'll just have a white banner on the wall, which will act as a, whatever, something for... Get in the door! Goodness. And yeah, no mirrors because the walls aren't double layered, and I didn't have room to double layer them because of the fact... I mean, I guess I could have, technically. Because I could have brought this back another row. Well, too late now to think about that. Anyway, you can close your doors and leave. The next thing I want to do is the Geek Squad sign, which is what the thing is called here. Start by getting out the following. I left the door open. Hold on, okay. You need black and orange concrete, polished blackstone stairs, and polished blackstone slabs. We're going to use the lecterns here to mark. If you take the block between these center 2 lecterns, which is going to be this polished blackstone brick, trace it up to the first gray and place a black concrete off of it, you will extend that black left by 1 and right by 3. Extend it up another row that gets brought to the left and right an additional 1, and then mirror that on top of itself with orange concrete. So you're placing the same longer row with orange, and then the next row up is 1 shorter on the sides. From the top row of orange in the furthest left one, you want to place an opposite on polished blackstone stair facing right. Below it, a normal stair facing right. Right of that, a stair facing left. And then I'll have an opposite on slab above that one, which gives you a G. I know it kind of looks like a C, but, like, this notch is a G, so, yeah. Banner letter time, we can't escape them apparently. You need looms, both orange and black banners, along with orange dye, black dye, and white dye. And if you... my bad, that wasn't a grip. Okay. Place your loom aggressively on the floor, and you can get rid of it immediately just for the extra inventory space. I'm also going to shush everything up. Start with orange banner. Yep, 2 banners at the same time. Perfect. Black dye, and you want to do the line down the right with black, which is pale sinister. Orange in. Full bottom half is orange, which is perfect inverted. Black back in. All 3 lines going left to right, so chief fess, fess, and base fess. Line down the left, which is pale Dexter. Other orange banner in. Full left half is black, which is per pale. And then both diagonals bend and bend sinister. Next up, black banner in, and you don't want black dye because you can't see it. White dye. Wow, we needed 1 orange. That's crazy. And you want to start with your first, or with your white dye with chief fess and base fess, so the top and bottom lines, and then bend the diagonal from top left to bottom right. Next one is a weird one. You want to pretend like you're making an O here, so do all 4 lines going around the perimeter. Chief fess, base fess, pale sinister, and pale Dexter. And then put in, what the frick was that? Put in a black dye and do the border pattern, or border, whatever you want to call it. White back in, do the kind of square in the bottom right, which is called base sinister canton, and that gives you a Q. Next one in, still with your white dye and your black banners, you're doing base fess, which is the line across bottom, and then both lines going down these sides, pale sinister and pale Dexter. Next one, white dye down the left, which is pale Dexter. Black dye in the full top half as black, which is per fess. White back in, all 3 lines going left to right, so chief fess, fess, and base fess. Line down the right, which is pale sinister. And then finally, starts pretty much the same. Line down the left, which is pale Dexter. Black dye in. Full top half is black, which is per fess. White back in. The line across the bottom, which is base fess. Line through the center, which is fess. And then line down the right, which is pale sinister. You can break your loom. For the sign, from the top row of orange, you want to just right of the G that we already made. Place 2 of your E's and then a K. Starting directly below the left half of the G, you're placing S, Q, U, A, D. Geek Squad. This is like their little tech service thing. I'm pretty sure all of them have it. When I was researching to confirm this, it seemed like they do. I was like, maybe it's just a, like, my thing or something, but no, it's not. Also, there's a dog at my door, which is cool. Get out dark oak fences and mangrove fence gates. We're just going to do, like, 1 quick step. If you take the right stripped acacia wood row and leave a gap of 5 extending out from it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you'll take the 6th block and place a fence. Dark oak fence. Extend it towards you with 2 fence gates that are connected into it. Fence. 2 fence gates. Fence. The center fence you will extend to the left with 13 fence gates. Another fence, and then you can leave a gap of, what is it, 2 or is it 3? Gap of 2, and on the 3rd blue concrete powder, place a fence gate facing the opposite way from the rest of the ones that you should have placed in that previous row. And extend that fence gate both forward and backward by 2 with a fence on either end, and then you will bring either of those fences to the right now with what should also be 13 fence gates. And then a fence, which gives you a nice little line. Or not nice. Whatever you prefer to consider it as. We're going to do with the shelves last. So, for designs, and you don't have to do this perfectly as I do, I'll just tell you, I have ovens, fridges, dishwashers, I want to say. And then I got TVs, computer, like there is a ton here. So this will take a little while. Get out the following to start. Blast furnaces and smokers, and also normal furnaces actually, just all 3. As for like the stuff for them, I'll start with stone pressure plates. iron trapdoors, oak trapdoors, dark oak trapdoors, spruce trapdoors, and dark oak signs. That doesn't actually get all of them, unfortunately. But starting from the... Where are we going to say here? I'm going to say, if you are looking from, like, pretend like you're working here in the Geek Squad area, you want to take this back left dark oak fence. Not actually this one, but the one a little bit to the right of it, which is going to be this guy. You want to count to the 5th block behind it. And the 6th to the right of that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And place a blast furnace facing left. I'll leave gaps of 1 between each, and I'll go back with 2 more blasts, and then 7 smokers. This is giving me FNAF World PTSD. I will leave a gap of 1 going right of that, and I'll basically copy the same thing with the blast furnaces on front facing right, but it'll be regular furnaces instead of smokers for the back. You can kind of pick and choose. Since you have 7 of those and 6 of the blast furnaces, I would recommend doing 1 of each of these designs per thing. So you'll have 1 that's open. You'll have 1 with a stone pressure plate on each of them. I'll just make them in line for the simplicity. Then you'll have 1 with an iron trapdoor on top for each of them. 1 with an oak trapdoor on top for each of them. 1 with a dark oak trapdoor on top for each of them. And then you'll have... I didn't do this one for the blast furnace. I did the dark oak shelf one, which is the one that we can't do. But for at least the furnace and smoker, these can't be in line, because you'll go a block behind it and you'll place a spruce trapdoor open against it with another one on top. And then I'll crouch and place a dark oak sign off of that top trapdoor to be like the little clock that most stoves have nowadays. And then again, the other one is just literally a dark oak shelf that is just on top of the furnace slash smoker, or, you know, as again I said, I did it for the blast furnace one, and it just kind of points out. Cool. That wasn't too complicated. For the next one, we're going to at least mark all the color variants. So get out stripped mangrove wood, smooth quartz slabs. We're going to use them for blocks just to save some inventory space. Stripped dark oak wood, stone slabs, again, same thing. And I'm going to get out the following doors. I'm getting mangrove, pale oak, iron, spruce, and maybe dark oak? Did I use dark oak? I did. And there's also a birch one for some reason. So I'm actually going to get out stripped birch wood instead of a dark oak door. From these furnaces, I'm just going to take the frontmost one. I'm going to leave a gap of 9 extending left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the 10th block I'll place 3 stripped mangrove extending up, with another row of 3 behind it, and then gap of 1 and 2 more rows. Gap of 1 behind that, I'll place 2.5 smooth quartz blocks extending up, twice going back, and then gap of 1, and I'll do that again. Gap of 1 behind that, and I'll place 2.5 stone blocks extending up, only for 1 row this time though. Gap of 1 behind that, 2 smooth quartz extending up, gap of 1, 2 stripped dark oak extending up, gap of 1, 2 smooth quartz. This is getting copied fairly similarly with the 1 block gap as well. So starting from the front, the heights are all the same. The only thing that changes is the first 2 are smooth quartz this time, as opposed to stripped mangrove. Then the next one is stripped dark oak, which is also going to be 2 by 3 since we don't have the slabs. Next one is stone. The next 2 are each smooth quartz, which are just the 2 tall ones. Actually, this one... No, these are both just 2 tall. I don't have the slab on this one. No, I guess that variant doesn't exist. Never mind. Next one will be stripped dark oak, and then the next one will be stripped birch. So, you can get rid of your stripped birch. I guess get rid of everything except for your doors, actually. And I'll get out birch and dark oak doors. For this side that we're actively on, all of them are just doors. Except for the furthest right one. So, like, birch door off the birch, dark off dark oak. I have iron for one of these smooth quartz and pale oak for the other. I have spruce doors for the stone. Dark oak for the dark oak. And then this smooth quartz has pale oak doors. And again, the last one on the side is just open, which will make sense when we get them done. I'll actually leave the front one open on the mangrove side as well. And the back mangrove I'll have the doors on. I technically have it the other way, but this makes more sense. Going back this way, the first smooth quartz is pale oak doors, and the second is iron. Spruce door off the stone. Pale oak door off the smooth quartz, and these last two are just open. Like so. Get rid of all the doors and get out mangrove and pale oak trapdoors. Also mangrove and pale oak shelves. Along with dark oak shelves. And you do actually need the dark oak and pale oak doors again. You'll see why. There's one thing that I missed. I'll go iron trapdoors as well. And kind of sort of for fun, dark oak signs. But not really. So we're the mangrove doored one, and I guess essentially if you have a row of blocks above your door that is just blocks, you want trapdoors open against it. Except for the dark oak is signs. Don't ask me why, I don't actually know. Like that. The two tall smooth quartz on the one side where there's two of them next to each other. Where the iron door is, I'll have an iron trap door above, and where the pale oak door is, I'll have a pale oak trap door above. And then for the two on the opposite side that we haven't added doors on, I'm going to have shelves coming off of like one side of it, which is going to be off the kind of right side of the block. And then off the back side of those shelves, I want a door of the correct color, so it looks like the door is open and it's showing the shelves in the fridge. Ignore the fact that that would be such a thick door in the logic of things, but, you know. If a block is 3 feet wide, we'll say that's like a 1.5 foot of a door right there. Absolute monster. Anyway, where the two that we haven't finished are, is one's with a freezer at the bottom, which is, I feel like, generally how fridges are. But anyway, you want shelves off of the bottom row of the correct color, and then the top 2x2 you'll just place pale oak trapdoor, or trapdoors in general, opened against. You could try to do something with doors if you know how to, like, deal with that. Set block won't work because it'll update the one door, and it will just break. I'm pretty sure, I can check, actually. Set block door? Okay, well, I actually need to do a type of door. Dark oak door. Yeah, you see that'll work, and then if I put another one next to it, they just explode. So, unfortunately, that is not a very good option. I wonder if you could do it, like, simultaneously. If you did command blocks, it might work. But they'd have to be the exact same time, otherwise I think they would just both fry. Although I don't even know if that would work. It's still kind of pushing it. Anyway, there's 2 things done. Next up is going to be, yeah, dishwashers. Or I guess it could be considered as washing machines and dryers. I don't remember what my logic was. Alrighty, for the next set, get out smooth quartz slabs, polished blackstone slabs, the stair version of both, pale oak trapdoors, dark oak trapdoors, pale oak signs, dark oak signs, and item frames. I think that'll actually get us to be able to finish these. Again, we're going to have to use the slab version for the blocks, though. Where are item frames? Help. Oh my goodness. There they are. So from the fridges, we're going to ignore the shelves. I'm just mentioning or saying from the full blocks here, you want to leave yet again a gap of 9 extending left. 3, 6, 9. On the 10th, you'll place a smooth quartz block with a gap of 1 left of it in a polished blackstone block. On top of either of these, you'll have stairs facing away from each other. Gap of 1 behind that, you'll have a 1.5 blocks extending up. And then again, continually leaving those gaps of 1, you'll place 8 more of the respective block going back. I definitely counted that wrong, didn't I? 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, I did not. You should be 5 off the back wall. Yes, cool. I don't know why it looked wrong to me. Sick. Off of either of the first two, you want to place the respective trapdoor open against it. For the most part, the respective will mean the same color, although there's one point in this that I'll specify otherwise because it isn't the case. The next two, you'll place item frames kind of off the sides of it. The next two, you'll place signs of the opposite color, so dark oak on the smooth quartz and pale oak on the polished blackstone. The next two, you'll place the respective trapdoor on top. And the final two will be item frame on top. Cool. That one was pretty easy. I think it's time to get probably the worst part of the entire build done, which are all of the various shelves with the various things going on. And there's another part of this that I'm not going to do, and that sounds kind of weird, but I'll explain it. Get out smooth quartz blocks and pale oak shelves to start, and also actually pale oak signs, because we can label all of these as we go. Starting from, I'm going to just say the backmost one? No, I'll take two more in front of the backmost one out of the polished blackstone. We're leaving a gap of 9, shockingly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 9 is there. So the 10th block, you'll place a smooth quartz block on, and extend it forward by, would you believe it, 9. Place 2 additional rows to the left. And then you can, not once, but twice, leave a gap of 5 from that and copy the 3 rows. So I'll just mark them first. Yeah, I think once we get past this, the rest won't be terrible. There's a couple things that are complicated for sure, but meh. We're going to lay all these out first, and then we'll go deal with the rest of the kind of detailing. From the front left corner, though, of this one, you want to count to the 7th block to the left. And then from there, count forward 2, and from this block, you're going to extend forward with 14 smooth quartz. I didn't bump back a block, did I? No, I don't think so. No, cool. You'll then leave a gap of 3 in front of that one and place the same 14 blocks extending forward. And then you should know the drill here. 2 rows to the left, and between each of these is gaps of 3 instead. And you want a total of 6 rows. So that'd be 2, that would be 3, this would be 4, this would be 5, and that would be 6. And you'll be, what, 6 blocks off the end? That's correct. On both the front and side, actually. So that's cool. And then again, you want the full rows for the full thing. All 3 of them going all the way, whatever. Yeah. But yeah, again, once these are all done, we've just got a couple easier things left, like TVs. But these are going to, for sure, make you a little crazy. I'm going to try to not go too fast, but I also don't want this video to be 3 hours, so, you know. A lot of them are fairly easy, though. Some of them aren't. You know, it is finding that line between what's, like, easy and what actually isn't easy, but there are still 2 more shelves we have to mark after this, which I think are both just, like, spare shelves, which could be clearance if you want them to be. That is an option. I didn't think about it a ton, so, you know, it's up to you. I just had room, and I was like, yep, shelf. It's my logic. Can't really beat it. Pretty unflawed. I will say, though, looking at this room as a whole, like, once it's done, there's really nothing. The back area is going to be really easy. Anyway, you should have this. From the back left one, but the right side of it, this, like, back right smooth quartz, you want to count backwards by 7. And right by 1 and going back, you want to place 8 smooth quartz. With 2 rows to the right. One more at the back right. It's because we have so much space next to these ovens. Wow, these are like glowing because of the light blocks. That's funny. You want to, from the backmost one, leave a gap of 5 counting to the right. And then beyond that, you'll place 3 smooth quartz going over. And each one you can extend forward by 18. Which should just be the length of the ovens. You could totally add ovens on here, for real. Ovens on the shelf. I feel like an oven would make a shelf just explode, though. You want to bring the center row of smooth quartz up an additional 1 on each of these. In addition to that, you can, off of the sides of the bottom, the long sides, place pale oak shelves, just like this. These will be important for an upcoming step, but not quite yet. Although I think I'll get it out of the way before we do the rest of the details, because it's really nothing crazy, and it was just a minor thing that I added. But yeah, do both these steps simultaneously. That's the word right there. Recording these long tutorials is always interesting, because I always, like, prepare. Generally, whenever I'm recording, right, I'm recording 2 to 3 videos. Like, even with the exterior of this, which was an hour, I recorded Patrick's Rock for SpongeBob, which was like 30 minutes. So normally I'm around an hour and a half to 2 hours for, you know, again, 3 videos sometimes. Normally 2, but sometimes 3. And then there's, like, this, and I just, like, I need to mentally prepare, because I don't know what makes it different, doing 1 long tutorial versus 2 shorter ones. I guess because at least I get, like, a break. Not necessarily a break, but that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say more so that I just, like, it's different content normally. I mean, sometimes it is back-to-back Indigo Park or whatever. But, I don't know, something like this being consecutive like that is just brutal. Like, 2-hour tutorials are scary. I haven't gone to any other stores yet, thankfully. I'm definitely gonna need to, like, think about, because some of them, like, you figure Costco, I have a Costco build, so a refresh on that, oh brother. Speaking of Costco, this is so random, but I got a video in my recommended, like, where's the best place in Farloom for a Costco? So that's a video that's on YouTube. Farloom is the Soksong area, for those of you who are not aware, but it's just like a random video, and 10 out of 10 I will be watching, and I will be informing the Discord how it is. Probably by now I would have, but just figured I'd mention that. But anyway, like, yeah. Obviously, Hospital I did, and I split that up. There was, I think, one other I split up, wasn't there? Maybe I'm dumb. I don't know, but Bowling Alley wasn't bad. That one's been done. Walmart was pretty bad, but I wouldn't say it was this bad. Anywho, that should be all your shelves. Cool. For labeling each of these, it's going to be the top row of smooth quartz on the front and back. Some of them are blank, so if I don't tell you to put a sign on them, don't. But you're going to need this on both sides, so if I tell you, then you can just, like, block pick it. So for this first one, it's going to be pale oak sign. For all of them, you're counting down a line, and in all caps, you will be typing. For the first one, it's cameras. And again, I'm just going to repeatedly copy it and place it on the back of this shelf. The one to the right of that is going to be... Well, actually, I'm going to say the one behind it first, sorry. One behind it is going to be microphones. And feel free to pause if you need, since I will be doing the data. The one in... Or I guess the one to the front right. So front row, one to the right is controllers. Bloink. The one behind the controllers and also the row to the right is going to be video games. Or if you wanted to switch one to movies, you could. That's an option. Bloink. Bloink. And by the way, that back left one is blank, just for reference. The next one over on the front... Is it just the front? Oh yeah, it is. Right, okay. Is going to be computers. I'm just going to type it both times. The one behind that is laptops. We have 2 more rows here. The next row over is going to be on the front. Oh yeah, phone chargers. That's one that exists. If I could type it right. The one behind that is keyboards. The front right one is speakers. Oh yeah, this was the one that I was like, what is it? And then the one behind that one is computer mice. Or you could just call them mice. It's up to you. I think computer mice makes more sense. I typed nice. Okay, no, I didn't. I thought I did. I was gonna say what. The back right one is open, but these three here are all just monitors. So, to avoid typing that 6 times for me, I'm going to type it once, and then yoink, boink, bloink, and yeah. These ones are an exception, by the way, to what I'm about to tell you. The only ones that really have it are this like mass of them in the front left. But I went around in each of the shelves and just randomly placed note blocks in them. Note blocks being boxes. You can change it up if you want, but I was just like, you know, just something like this to look like actual stock, because that is generally what those compartments would presumably be for. But yeah, it's up to you if you find that is something interesting or not, whatever. So, let's start with these shelves, shall we? We're going to go from the front of each row and just go back, shelf at a time. So we'll start with the full front left shelf, then do the full back left, then, you know, same way that we place the signs, basically. Starting off, you want grindstones, observers. Where are observers? That's a really good question. Both dispensers and hoppers. Dark oak hanging sign. I probably should have grabbed these in a different order. Lesson learned for the next one, and the rest of them. Dragon head. Heavy cores. Oh, you'll be seeing those a lot, I think. I know one other that uses them immediately. Conduits. Oh yeah, the whole sun over here. And wither skeleton skulls. Starting from the left, going back on this side. We're doing side at a time. You're going to place 3 grindstones. Then 3 observers that you want to make sure the like face is pointed out, because their cameras get it. And it's funny. Then beyond that, 3 dragon heads, sorry. And then I'll actually get rid of the dragon heads and get out hoppers, because I somehow missed these, and place 3 that are pointed into the back of the shelf. And then 2 heavy cores behind that. Other side, I'll start from the front and work back, and I'll place a dropper, sorry. Dispenser. 4 dark oak hanging signs, each coming off of smooth quartz. Then 4 conduits. And then 4 wither skeleton skulls. Like so. That's the first shelf. Cool. Get rid of all that and get out the following. Soul torches. Copper torches. Waxed exposed lightning rods. Heavy cores again. Grindstones again. Levers. Tripwire hooks. Gray candles. And anvils. Starting from the left, going back, you're going to... These are in order this time, which is nice. You'll place 2 soul torches. 3 copper. Then 4 lightning rods coming off the smooth quartz. 3 heavy cores. Then 2 grindstone coming off the smooth quartz. Opposite side, you'll start by placing off of the smooth quartz. You'll go 4 levers. 4 tripwire hooks. And then not on them, you'll place 4 gray candles and then 2 anvils kind of pointed out like so. Cool. Next one, you need various fence gates. You need, I'll tell you them. Mangrove, warped, crimson, bamboo, pale oak, and dark oak. So for this front left shelf, you want to leave a gap of 1. Actually, you don't want to leave a gap of 1, sorry. You're starting from the front, and every other block you'll on this side place a mangrove fence gate. It should kind of point outwards like this. And then you'll go 3 warped, 2 crimson, bamboo. The right side you will start by leaving a gap of 1 for real this time, plus mangrove, 3 pale oak, 3 dark oak. Just different colors. We gotta bring back out the loom for the next 3 shelves, actually. You need a loom, and you need just 3 different types of white banners. You would need to cover each of them with this, though, so... what is the math on that? It's a lot. That's all I can tell you. And you'll need blue dye, which I guess you would need 2 of each dye color. You need 2 blue, 2 lime, and 2 red, right? That's the math? Yes. Place your loom on the floor somewhere and put in your first banner and your blue dye. For each of them, you'll actually just put a banner in with a dye and you'll do the border pattern along with the line left to right through the center. And again, you'll do that 3 times. Which should give you these 3 banner patterns. Cool. You can pick which is which. I have the next shelf, which would be this back left one with the red banners off of each side. And then I would just say the one directly right of that would be lime, and then the one in front of that would be blue. So this would be, well, you know, it's hopefully fairly obvious. And again, you're placing them off the top block, so you only see the, like, top half of it, which looks like a kind of game disc thing. What are they called? Package. It's not the word, but I don't remember it for some reason. It'd be PlayStation is the blue one, Xbox is green, and Nintendo Switch is red. Just in case anybody was curious. For the next one, you need the following walls. You need red nether brick, diorite, blackstone, deep slate tile, granite, and nether brick. I'm also going to tell you to get out... no, actually, I changed my mind. I was going to get pressure plates out for the next one, but meh. So, starting from the left side of the computer labeled one, you want to leave a gap of 1 from the start on the left, and you'll, again, every other block, you'll go 2 red nether bricks, 2 diorites, 3 blackstone. Other side, immediately starting, again, still every other, though, you'll go 3 deep set tile, 2 granite, and 2 nether brick. Cool. For the next one, get out the following pressure plates. You want polished blackstone, dark oak, the heavy weighted one, which is iron, the light weighted one, which is gold, stone, paintings, and I'm also going to tell you to get out dark oak pressure plates, item frames, and for now, bamboo pressure plates. Actually, mangrove pressure plates, not bamboo. Sorry. We already had dark oak, so get out bamboo as well then, instead of the second dark oak. Sorry, I don't know what I'm doing. Next one back, which is the one labeled laptops. Again, starting every other from the left side, you'll leave 1 open, and you'll go 2 polished blackstone pressure plates, 3 dark oak, and then 2 iron. Other side, you'll start immediately, and you'll go 3 polished blackstone, 2 gold, and 2 stone. These are going to be real fun to place. I guess you can get rid of your, what, polished blackstone? No, stone. And get out a placeholder block. Because you want 1 by 1 paintings off of each of these, like on top of each of these pressure plates off the smooth quartz. I wouldn't worry about them being the same, because ultimately you're going to end up with ones being the same. You can maybe, you know, not have them back to back. Like, I just got a horrid set on both sides. Like, what is that? And then the other side is arguably worse. I got 3 of the same. But anyway, yeah. Or if they're all the same, that's technically an option. A weird one, but it is an option. Anyway, for the one directly right of this, since this is also keyboards, you want to start from the front, actually on both sides, and place 2 pressure plates going back just immediately. On the left, you'll go back with 4 dark oak, 4 item frames, and then 4 iron. And on the right, you would go back with 4 bamboo. And then I'm going to get rid of the placeholder block, and you'll have 4 crimson. And then 4 polished blackstone. Cool. For the one in front, you can, again, clear your inventory. What is this one? Oh, yeah, phone chargers. And get out daylight sensors. I got that out backwards. Waxed weathered lightning rod, so you might actually want to switch those 2 in your inventory. Tripwire hooks and levers. I was too concerned about the fact that I used these, because it's kind of funny when I think about it. On the left side going back, just on each smooth quartz, you're going to start with 5 of your lightning rods. The rest of this side will be daylight sensors, and I have all of them inverted so they're glowing. These are like the ones you would, you'd put your phone down like that and it would go wow and start charging. It wouldn't actually probably make that noise. I made that noise, but... Anyway, the other side is 6 tripwire hooks, and whatever the next number is of levers, 8 I guess. And all of them I actually have powered on. What's nice about these is they don't actually affect the shelves either, so you're good. Since the one behind is done, you can get out the following for the final shelf. Piglin heads, heavy cores, wither skeleton skulls, flower pots, dragon heads, and we'll just go with that. On the left side of this one, you want to have 3 piglin heads facing out, 4 heavy cores, 3 wither skeleton skulls facing in, and then 1 facing out, and then 3 more heavy cores. Opposite side, you will start with 2 piglin heads facing in, 4 flower pots, 3 heavy cores, that is the wrong position, and then the final 5 will all be dragon heads facing into the smooth quartz. Cool. The back one, you want to get every button known to man. You want polished blackstone, stone, crimson, dark oak, bamboo, mangrove, and that's it. So on both rows, you're starting with, on both sides of this one, you're having 4 polished blackstone buttons at the front and 2 dark oak buttons at the back. The only difference is the left side starts with 4 stone buttons moving back for the next part, and the right is 4 bamboo moving back, and then the next 4 on the left are crimson, while the next 4 on the right are mangrove. Cool, that is all of those done, and we're also over an hour, which is crazy that we're not even, like, close to done this room. Alright, so these ones are going to be weird, the monitor ones. Get out the following, though, to start. Anvils, lecterns, which are the actual monitor design in the place in general, no way. Polished blackstone stairs, polished blackstone slabs, a dark oak shelf, that one bothers me for some reason. Hopper, oh, the next one bothers me more. A heavy core, wither skeleton skulls, and we'll go polished diorite stairs. We're going to try to get all of them marked and then put all the paintings and stuff after. So starting from this left shelf on the left side of it, you're leaving a gap of 1. Again, for these, you're leaving a gap of 1 at the start from each of them. And you're starting with an anvil facing sideways, and then a gap of 1 between each design. So then 2 lecterns, 2 polished blackstone stairs facing into the smooth quartz. Other side, 2 slabs of polished blackstone, dark oak shelf on the right half, hopper, that's just pointing into the ground, and then a heavy core. Next shelf over, you'll start from the front, and then you'll have the 2 polished diorite stairs facing right. Again, make sure you have the gap. I don't know why I said start from the front, because you weren't. And then you'd have 3 wither skeleton skulls coming off the smooth quartz. Get rid of your hopper, heavy core, polished diorite stair, and wither skeleton skull, and get out polished diorite slabs, pale oak shelf, conduit, and daylight sensor. Again, where are daylight sensors? I already found them once. There they are. For the opposite side of this shelf, you'll start with 2 polished diorite slabs, then 2 pale oak shelves on the right half of the block, and then a conduit for the final one. Next shelf, you'll start with a polished blackstone slab, then have 2 stairs facing right that are polished blackstone, then 2 daylight sensors, which don't have paintings on them or anything. That's weird. Other side, you'll start with a polished blackstone slab, then 2 upside down stairs facing right, and then you can literally get rid of whatever, because you need 2 dark oak trapdoors for the next 2 that are open to the right, like so. For this part, you can get out paintings, item frames, and I guess dark oak signs. Starting from the first shelf, the first 3 you'll have dark oak signs against. I'm doing the copy thing. If you control block pick it, it'll give you one that just places. And then these back 2 are paintings, actually, not item frames. The other side, you will start with 2 item frames, 2 paintings, sign. The next one, you'll have painting and sign, and that's it. The next one, you'll do 2 item frames and then 3 paintings, which you should be able to place one off the conduit. The next side, you'll start with a painting, then have 2 item frames. And I'm going to place a painting off one daylight sensor and an item frame off the other. I don't know why I didn't. I think I just forgot. The other side of this one, though, you will start, or just have 4 paintings, and then an item frame is the last one. Cool. That's all the shelves done. I guess you can clear your inventory, although we'll need some of that again, I guess. Get out yellow terracotta. Polished blackstone stairs. Polished blackstone blocks. Stripped, what is that, spruce wood? Yes, spruce wood. Dark oak stairs. Dark oak trap doors. Dark oak fence gates and painting. Starting from out of these 3 monitor shelves we have, I'm going to start from the right row. Actually, no, I'll start from the left row of this furthest right one and trace it back and place a yellow terracotta here. It'll be extended to the left by 1 and also to the right by 9. Leaving a gap of 11 going left of this, you'll place what should probably be another 11 yellow. Yes. Actually, is it 10? It might be 10. Hold on, I might have miscounted. Yeah, it's 10 yellow. I apologize, not 11. Is it really 1 off, or am I bad at math? No, it's 1 off. Why? And I can notice it too. Add another yellow. Make it 11, because that's annoying me. So from the end yellow, you'll count in by 1 and place a strip spruce wood on either side with a painting off the front. You're just placing a painting off the front of everything you're doing here. Left of that, you'll have 2 black stone stairs facing into the wall, and again, this will be a 1x2 painting. These are TVs for the record. Gap of 1 moving in from that, you'll place 4 polished black stone extending over with another row on top to give you... Right, fence gates don't exist. To give you a 4x2. Cool. This is going to be fun to place. You want to leave a gap of 3 from the polished blackstone one on either side, and on the next 2 blocks in, you're placing dark oak stairs facing into the wall. You'll absolutely need a placeholder for this, but they're just annoying to place. That's really it. And then below them, you'll have upside down dark oak stairs that are as equally annoying to place, because they're also facing into the wall. Off the sides of those, you'll have dark oak trapdoors in line with the front of the stairs to create a flat surface where a painting should go. Once again, annoying. You could place a block off the ground, though, and then just place the trapdoors on top. And then again, you want your paintings. I've gotten 3 of the same. Are we serious? You would end up leaving a gap of 3 above that and copying them again here. Alright, that's a gap of 3. Yes, cool. Yeah, you want the exact same thing. Still not any easier to place, but we'll make it work. However many placeholders and extra things you need. I'm kind of a rebel, so I don't use the placeholders a ton here. I just get the angles. Okay, yeah, I'm changing you. There we go. There's not a ton of options anyway. I think that's actually all of them that I have on the other one anyway. Yeah, I have 1 double, and I have 2 doubles here, so what am I missing? Oh no, I do have 2 doubles, I just can't read. Maybe there are only that many 4x2s. Between each of these, you want to just kind of place a set of 2 upside-down dark oak stairs here with paintings off the front. Directly between them, a dark oak fence gate coming off the wall with a little painting off of it. And that's all your TVs with varying sizes. Cool. You can clear your inventory, and we're starting to get to that point, finally, where things are getting more done. Get out pale oak slabs, yellow concrete, dark oak signs, glowing sacks, and white dye. And from the end yellow that I'm going to need to add for this step, so I actually know the numbers, you want to count forward from it by 7. And left 3, and going left place 3 pale oak planks just out of your slabs. If you want to get out planks, you actually can if it bothers you, but it doesn't really bother me, so. I'm going to place 3 yellow concrete in front of each pale oak plank, and then surround that 3 by 3 and more pale oak planks. Place a slab on top of each pale oak plank with the yellow brought up another row, so it's a half a block taller. And then on the center yellow, I'll have a dark oak sign facing left to right, with on both sides of it, I will type on the second line down, flat screen TVs. And all in caps except for the S at the end. And I'm going to place my glowing sack and white dye on it. Leaving gaps of 3 between each of them, you'll copy that to the left 2 more times. Oh my god. Just like this. How far into this are we? I don't remember if it's an hour 10 or an hour 30 at this point. Or which it's closer to, I guess, rather. Give me the sign. Cool. We'll save the perimeter shelves for last, just because they're easy. Let's do the, last really annoying thing. Well, actually, there's 2 more that are annoying here, but this one is more annoying. Get out stripped oak wood, oak shelves, armor stands. Where could they be? I literally just saw it, too. There we go. Lecterns. Item frames. Black banners. Shields. Lime banners. And white banners. So, from the main entrance, head back to the front. You're going to take it should be the rightmost door or the middle, which one? So when I do this, I'm going to tell you to leave a gap from the door, and I'm going to tell you to use the right door for this. I would recommend actually using the middle. Now, it doesn't change anything. The only thing it's going to change is, you can see I have some space open here now, so this middle section that we're about to do is all going to get shifted over, which is also going to change these. It doesn't really matter, though, how these get changed, because I won't actually end up doing anything different than this in the tutorial. The only thing that would change is you'd have another one to the left of this front one. But, yeah, so if you want to do that, you can, or if you want to have it how I have it right now, you also can. It doesn't matter a ton. It's just more centered the other way. Or I guess more shifted properly to fit with the shelves. But yeah, just a little bit of an oopsie. Ah, I'm sorry. The rightmost door, which is this one. You want to count to the 7th blue concrete powder behind each of the pane/openings. And place just a row of 4 stripped oak wood here. Behind the side ones, you want to go, well, actually, just kidding. You can leave a gap of 5 going left of that, and place the same row of 4. Now, behind the left side of each of these, you want to place an armor stand facing left on the next block, then a stripped oak wood facing up, then an armor stand facing left, then a stripped oak wood facing up, then an armor stand, then a stripped oak. The rest of the kind of square area you can fill in with stripped oak. Just kind of leave those armor stands chilling for now. In each of the hands of the armor stands, you want to place a black banner. And you can actually get rid of the banner now, because if you're on Bedrock, I forgot that this is a Bedrock only thing, my bad. You can actually shift and click on it with, like, as if you're placing something forward, and pose it. And when you click it twice, it'll, like, throw its hand up like that. And it'll kind of look like those displays that they have the phones on, sort of. I mean, it's a little bit bulkier. But I guess you could give it invisibility if you wanted. You could do a /effect at E command. Just make sure you do a radius, because it will try to give paintings invisibility. Don't ask how I know. It's weird, but there are a couple ways you can get these blocks in. You can place it here and push it in with the piston. However, what I like to do so it doesn't actually screw with the armor stand is just walk right up, get nice and comfortable in the armor stand. That sounds really weird. And do /setBlock ~, stripped _oak _wood like this in the chat, and you can just place it in each of the holes, and it'll not move the armor stand at all, and it'll fill the gap under it. And just literally repeat that command in each of them. And you can just, if you type / it might pull up, or I guess whatever to get your chat open. You can just go up arrow and it'll throw it to you. I know on console it's a bit weird, but yeah. In line with each of those armor stands on the far side, you want to place item frames with shields in them. And I want them rotated to where they are kind of going long ways like this. And then on the center 2 rows of this, I'm placing lecterns pointed outward, which would, I guess, be the things that are like, hey, here's your phone, the phone version or whatever. And it just kind of looks cool to have the shape of the lectern. I don't know. But I only go in the center 5. I leave the perimeter open on the front and back. Off the long sides of these, I'm placing oak shelves. And you can add more options, like change what you have here for even the banner colors and things. But what I did was, in line with where each of the armor stands are, I filled those shelves with white banners, just the ones directly under. And then the ones where these shields are, I used lime banners for, which are like, for this one it would just be Samsung and iPhone. The 2 main ones, I would say. 2 main phone brands. Well, I guess Google phones are pretty big too, aren't they? I don't know. I have an iPhone, so go ahead, Samsung users, make fun of me. Anyway, it should look like this. One major thing left in the main room that isn't the shelves on the perimeter, because frick those. Right? Or is there 2? I swear there was another one. I swear maybe I'm just thinking of those and I just... Yeah, I guess I was. I don't know. Get out the following. Smooth quartz blocks, for once. Pale oak stairs. Andesite walls. Smooth quartz slabs. Prismarine brick slabs. Polished deep slate stairs. Stone. Lecterns. And dark oak sides. Starting from the... Where are we going to take here? The left more of these little phone booths, and I'm taking the rightmost stripped oak on it. This like back right one. And I'm counting back from it by 8. And then right by 2. And extending up on this block, I'm placing 6 smooth quartz. Specifically, the bottom one is being brought right with, I don't have the number. I was just going to go for it, I guess. 10 opposite down pale oak stairs facing forward. So that's 3 there. Smooth quartz. Then I'll go back with 5 opposite down pale oak stairs and another smooth quartz. But I'm actually going to break this center stair here just so there's an opening that you can go through. And then this back smooth quartz can be extended to the left with 14 opposite down pale oak stairs that should face back. Smooth quartz. And then forward with 2 opposite down pale oak stairs that would face left, and then a smooth quartz. Right with 3 opposite down stairs, smooth quartz, and then connect back forward with more opposite down pale oak stairs. Each smooth quartz you want to bring up to the same height as the other ones, which should just be 5 up if my math is correct. Which it would be. Yeah, we're almost at the, like, 2-hour mark for my recording time, but I've taken some breaks, so, you know. The top 2 rows of the smooth quartz you'll connect together with andesite walls going all the way around. It's always weird to, like, look at the time that I've been recording for, because, like, I don't know what time I start exactly. I just, like, okay, yeah, 2 is roughly the time that I'm going to try to start, but normally it'll be later than that just because it's how it is. And then on top of the smooth quartz blocks and andesite walls, you're placing smooth quartz slabs going around in the same shape. Cool. On the front here, you would take, I'll say the bottom left andesite wall and count right 1, upside down prismarine brick slab. Ignoring directions, just half a block each time I say up or down. Up diagonally, right with 1. Down diagonally, right, right. Count right 2 and up half a block, and then slab. Down diagonally, right, right. And that's like the thing where there would, I guess generally it would be phone screen protector or whatever. Whatever they're called, something like that. I guess that's not wrong, it just sounds weird. Off this front row of pale oak stairs, you'll leave a gap of 1 from either side and place a polished deep set stair facing into it in front. Another gap of 1 moving in, and another. In line with these outer stairs, you'll have lecterns pointed backwards with dark oak signs off the backs of them. These are, I think, like where you would get phone plans or whatever. I don't know. It's been a minute since I've bought a phone. You'll take the inner stairs and leave a gap of 1 on the opposite side from the pale oak and place another set facing forward. Oh, I remember what I'm missing. Wow. Take this row of 3 pale oak on the left and bring the center one forward with a stair facing forward. Lectern facing towards it on top of the center stair with a dark oak sign off the backside. Bring these upside down pale oak stairs back a row like this, and then I'll place a polished deep set stair behind the center one. I will, in the back right corner of this full thing, just go kind of across with, what is it, like 9 stone? Yes. And the rightmost one I'll bring forward. Clearing the old inventory and getting out item frames and polished blackstone buttons. I think that's it, right? Yeah, I'll place a polished blackstone button 1 over from the cornerstone with 2 item frames to the left. And I'll also place a button off of this leftmost pale oak stair out of that kind of row of 3 behind the other row of 3. Cool. Voice crack, kind of. The one thing that we were missing was the checkout lines, which aren't actually complicated, thankfully. They will take like 10 seconds each. Get out the following. Spruce wood, black carpets, lecterns, dark oak signs, and white banners. From the... where are we going to take here? I'm going to take this... Alrighty, so what we're going to do is, these should be shifted a little bit more over to fill this space, and this will give us more space for checkouts, but I'm just going to remove a row from my math here. But if I take this particular clay just kind of to the side of the yellow, I'm going to count to the 5th blue concrete powder behind it. And then left one, and I'll place a spruce wood facing up, with a lectern on it pointed to the right, and a dark oak sign off of the left of it, which would be the back. Bring that spruce wood back by 4 and place another full row to the left, excluding the front block. Black carpet on the full 2x4 with a white banner kind of off the front of where the gap is here. Speaking of gaps, I'll leave a gap of 3 to the right of this and copy the same thing. Like this. And then leaving a gap of 4 going back, I'll copy either of those back by 1. Make sure that that gap is from the right side, by the way, where the lectern is, just because if it's not, you're going to end up with 3 block spacing instead. Okay. Cool. I am now realizing, though, that because of the fact that I shifted those, that means this is also shifted. So you can kind of see this side is open. If you want to add more shelves, you can, but I'll actually add in an edit probably that's like, hey, just so you know. As I could also should have mentioned, if you do have these shifted over, you can have another one to the left like there from the front one only. Yeah, my bad for that little bit of an oopsie, but hopefully it's not a huge deal. Anyway, it won't change anything else since that's the room done, other than the perimeter shelves. Get out scaffolding and bamboo slabs. And start from the front right, just next, I guess from the, it'd be the front left, but it's to the right side of it, so you're just kind of to the side of the entrance here. You're going to be on the second block over, and I'll extend up with 2 scaffolding. I will extend this top scaffolding over with 11 upside down bamboo slabs. And then I'll just place another row of 2 scaffolding extending up. And then it'll be 14 upside down bamboo slabs. Scaffolding, and then just like the rest of the way to the corner with scaffolding at the end. Going back from that point, you're starting with 13 slabs. And then again, I'll have scaffolding. And then again, 13 slabs. Scaffolding. And then again, 13. And then it would just be whatever's left to the corner. Cool. I'll then extend across the back with 13 still. Scaffolding. And then finally, for at least this portion, it's going to be, wow, I counted that so terribly. Give me a sec. It's going to be 13 again. And then more scaffolding. We'll bring it up later, but we can do these shelves at the, like, back right here, because there's a good amount. If you head kind of forward on the right side to where this door is, again, you'll go up with 2 scaffolding and start by heading back with 12 slabs to start. And then don't forget the scaffolding. Then 13. Then scaffolding, and then just the rest of the way to the corner, and scaffolding in the corner. And then extending over from that, it should just be 2 sets of 12, I would hope, or 13, not 12. 9, 12, 13, and then 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, 13 for each of them. Like so. The scaffolding will all extend up until it is 1 shorter than the yellow concrete. Or 1 below the yellow, I guess. So it's not touching it, it just kind of chilling there, I guess. I don't really know. For these shelves, it's just every other row upside down bamboo slabs between the scaffolding. And they should line up perfectly with the top, which is cool. And yeah, you'll do this on all of them on all sides. That got a little crazy for a minute. I made like 3 consecutive mistakes, so that was cool. Always love that. Thankfully nothing crazy, but I messed up the shelves, I messed up the main areas that little edit was shown, or had shown. But like, honestly... Oh, okay. I see how it is. Honestly, this far into a tutorial, it's not something I'm gonna worry about a ton. Like, I'm just gonna say, here's the deal, and this might have been an issue, but honestly, I don't think it makes a difference, especially the, like, center being shifted. It's just like, whatever. You know? Oh, huh? Why did it drop? That's what I'm mainly confused about. I, like, placed 2 inside of each other. I don't feel like that's how that should work. What? Whatever. Yeah, we're almost there, though. Because, again, the back is fairly empty. The only thing in the main room is shelves. Right room is electrical, which is small. And then the loading dock won't be too bad, either. We'll get all the lights done for it, though. First, which won't be too bad. They don't actually get embedded in the ceiling. I think you can probably tell for that area. By this point, I was about ready to be done, and I was well aware of the fact that I just made a 2.5-hour tutorial for myself. Anyway, once you're done that, again, except for touching the lighting, congratulations, that's the main area done. You might want to get out a spruce door, spruce trapdoors, sea lanterns, clay, and cyan terracotta, and that'll get us to the next area. So, at the back wall here, from the yellow terracotta, this right row, you want to leave a gap of 5 to the left, and break a 4 by 3, so 4 across, 3 up. Place spruce doors in the center, and you'll have to come to the back side from there and surround them in trapdoors that'll open up flush with them. If you don't like the way that looks, you can just go 2 by 2, but I liked it a little bit bulkier here. At the right side, you're going to basically leave 5 rows open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And at the 6th row over here, you're just going to place a full wall. If you want the door positioning for this side, it's closer to the back than it is the front. You have 4 open on the, or 4 clay on behind it and 6 in front, and you just have a normal double door. But you'll bring this clay all the way up with cyan terracotta. Even though the ceiling in there is lower, the ceiling in here is not. And I actually think the ceiling in the loading dock's a little lower. But the lights are still down a block. They're not embedded in the ceiling, even though the ceiling is lower. It's strange, I don't know. Speaking of the loading dock, the wall is pretty easy to figure out where it goes here. Just where you already have a wall for the loading dock kind of coming forward, you'll just cut it across. And for this one, it's 2 blocks off the front you have the clay, like there. And then the door is behind that. For some reason, I have the door on the inside like this, though. Like from the loading dock. But it's the same one with the 2 by 2 doors and the trapdoors surrounding it. Cool. And then that'll be everything at least marked out. And we're going to do the lights in the main area. Well, I might just do all 3. We'll see. We'll do the lights and then the shelves and then the lights in the other 2. Seems reasonable. In this area, if you, from, I think, any corner, I'm going to take the front right, though, which is going to be this one. I'll count back diagonally left 3 and place 2 sea lanterns going over with another row behind. Leave a gap of 2 behind and copy that light, and repeat those lights, leaving gaps of 3 going left until you reach the end. Or where you think they should stop, whichever. Which would be 3 away from the other wall, in fact. Evenly spaced. Yippee. You have shelves on both sides. Are they lined up, those 2 at least? Yes, they are. You want to, from the, like, front, or the left side corners, both the front and back, I'll go up with the 2 scaffolding. And then if I take that top scaffolding and extend over from it with 13 upside down bamboo slabs. Another row of scaffolding. And then what should be 13 more upside down slabs. And then scaffolding. And then the end on the right side here will just be the rest of the way, which is also, I'm going to guess, 13. 9, 12, 13. Yeah, it is. Cool. And then this one is the same as the front. Only difference here is you're actually going to be 2 off the top instead of 1. Reason being, I just messed up immediately. Reason being because the yellow isn't here. But yeah, you just want to build all your shelves up the same way with the upside down bamboo slab rows every other row. And yeah. And that's all that's in this particular room. I really didn't go crazy with the back here. Again, after going crazy for the front, I just, like, wasn't trying to make this a 12-hour tutorial. They're going inside of each other again. I'm scared. That's a really weird sentence without any context. Then again, I don't know if the context makes it any better. Who knows? I'm gonna get rid of the clay so I can get out polished diorite, and it can be next to the sea lanterns. In the loading dock, we'll start with that room. You actually do need the clay still, so, yeah, because I'm pretty sure, right? Unless we already have it. No. You'll want to bring the, like, wall out where the loading dock is another row. So the garage doors essentially are, like, pushed in a block from the wall. And you only need 2 rows above of cyan. You don't need the full 4. Like so. Because above that, you're having your ceiling being polished diorite, which is going to be 1 block lower than the white wool, with, like, I mean with a 1 block gap between them. Which, as you can see here, boop. Starting from the, like, front right corner by the door we would have entered in, you'll count left by 1 and go back from against the wall with 3 sea lanterns and another row to the left. These 2x3s are just repeated 2 blocks apart from each other for the entire light pattern in the ceiling here. Just like this. And they should line up evenly. Cool. And if you want to, like, surround these in trapdoors or shelves or something, just so the sides of them look a little less weird, you can. I wasn't worrying about it. Let's be real, they're not going to make the employee area look overly nice anywhere. Should give you this. We'll come back here later for, like, a whole 5 minutes to finish it, but head into the other room back here, the far room, this little 5-block one, and the ceiling here is a lot lower. It's the 4th row of cyan above the door here. It's, if you have 2 rows of polished diorite off of the left and 1 off of the back, sea lantern in the corner from there, and then really just down the center row you're doing 2 polished diorite and sea lantern alternating. Cool. Clear your inventory, and I didn't really have a lot of logic while doing this, so just get out the following. Light gray concrete, levers, tripwire hook, mangrove button, polished blackstone button, and blackstone wall. That's really it. Pretend like you just entered from this door. You want to look at the back wall and count all the way to the left. A block over, you're placing a lever. Gap of 2 from that, a row of 2 light gray extending off the floor. Off of the left side of this, you'll have a tripwire hook on the bottom with a lever on top, and just levers off the right. And then this light gray connects into the ceiling with blackstone walls. 3 block gap from specifically the light gray, ignoring the levers, you'll place another row of 2, with a mangrove button off the left of the bottom block and polished blackstone buttons off the sides of both the top and bottom, which excluding where the mangrove already is, obviously. Above that, you'll go up with 2 blackstone walls, left, up. These could be breaker boxes, pipes, whatever. Not really a lot of thought put into it. Just something so it's not empty. For the final area, you will need cobble deepslate, cobble deepslate slabs, and kind of optionally, I'm going to go with oak slabs and oak shelves, because I wanted to add some pallets, you know? Anyway, head back across to the loading dock. And where the cobble deepslate stair row is here coming through, or I guess that's visible underneath the door, you're going to come out with 3 rows of cobble deepslate blocks and then 3 rows of slabs, just in line with specifically the garage door. It's not going to be the full wall across, just because that's a little unnecessary. But yeah, they do have generally these raised platforms. I know ours at Spirit, like, you can raise and lower. So, like, normally it's flat with the floor, but then whenever you need it up, you can pull it up. Anyway, on the opposite wall, kind of next to the door, I have just, like, various ways of showing pallets. So from the left, I'll just have a 2x2 of shelves against the wall. Maybe right of that, I'll have a 2x2 of slabs on the floor. Then a 2x2 of planks. Then the shelves on the wall again. Gap, shelves on the wall again. Then these slabs on the floor again. Then I went gap of 1, slabs. Upside down slabs to the right with shelves on top of the right half of them. And also shelves to the right of those slabs against them, which kind of looks like a pallet at an angle, like against the other one. I'm going to ignore the fact that that probably is defying gravity, though. Now that I think about it. Especially because pallets would just probably slide out. I don't think they would just stay like that. Anyway, once you've done that, ladies and gentlemen, oh my god, we did it. That's the Best Buy Refresh Series interior complete. Yeah, I don't even know. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna try to tone it down for the rest of the store tutorials that are refreshed because, oh my goodness, I don't want to do that again. That was pretty bad. But anyway, the next refresh, if anybody is wondering, is Pool Store. Yes, I am correct on that. That one's a very interesting one. I, like, thought about that for a while as to what I wanted to do. I forgot to add Fridays onto this list. Hold on. But I think I'm happy with how that one turned out overall. Yeah, there are, beyond that one, I only have 4 more ready, so even with how long Best Buy took me to record, I just haven't been building them, so. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. But if you guys did enjoy this video, I'm gonna go take a nap after that. Not really. Have a fantastic rest of your day or night, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.